shot! Dishes off to Jones, kicks it out to Aaron Martin, 4 seconds. Oh my goodness! He makes the three.
Are you kidding me, Aaron Martin?
Well, welcome to Wildcat Week. I'm Roger Alcock. The men's basketball team, their historic season has come to an end. The Wildcats fell to Davenport University in the quarterfinals of the NAIA National Tournament. Now, even though the men's season has ended, they still made a big impact off the court while in Branson.
The teams in the quarterfinal got to play some basketball today, but with some special guests, the champion athletes. The champion athletes create sporting activities for people with special needs. The athletes work on passing, shooting, and dribbling. Every station filled with players and coaches from the NAIA tournament. Coach Jeff Clark loves spending time with the champion athletes.
We love this. Every Saturday morning that we've been to the Elite Eight, this is the 6th time we have this Special Olympics event that we come to, and it's really one of the highlights of the week for our guys. They're really going to put I am third in the practice, and we put God first, I am second, ourselves third. And really, this is life-giving for our guys, you know, to just go love on some different people and try to just show Christ's love to people who maybe aren't as blessed as we are, as fortunate as we are. It's really one of the highlights of the week.
Not only is it a break from focusing on the games ahead, but this also allows the players to show how they are third.
It's been pretty fun, you know. It's just an opportunity for us to be third and just minister to these kids and show them a fun time a little bit.
The champion athletes show that they too can handle the ball as well as the players in the tournament. Sophomore Nathan Bubash says there are positives to being with the champion athletes.
I think it's good for us. I mean, right now we're not thinking about the game tonight. Right now we're thinking about the kids and just trying to have some fun with them and just enjoy the time we have right now.
This is life-giving, you know, and it's, for me and as the coaching staff, you know, we get so focused on the next opponent, this high stress, and, you know, there's part of you where you look at this and you're saying, I got to take a couple hours out of my time when I could be watching another film, but this is so refreshing and so life-giving just because of the laughter that comes here, the relationships you build. You know, you come back and see some of the same athletes that you saw last year, and it's just a fun time and really a time where you leave this place having more energy than you came in.
Some familiar faces like Michael play basketball in a way that some of us will never experience. Playing basketball blind. Michael is able to dribble and make free throws. Players like freshmen Ben Carlson and Nathan Bubash feel that spending time with these players changes the perspectives on their lives.
They really open our eyes and make us grateful for what we have. They make us want to work that much harder because they don't have they don't have the opportunity to come out and play what we do. So we want to play and show them what God's love is about and how hard we work.
You know, it makes us feel a little good. I mean, you make some kids smile who you might not have met before, and you just allow them to have some fun, treat them like normal, encourage them, just have a lot of fun.
At the end of the time with the champion athletes, teams like the Wildcats demonstrated what it is like to be third. For Wildcat Central, I'm Zach Allen.
Well, thank you, Zach. Nice to see the guys serving others like that. Well, now we welcome in the Crossroads League Co-Coach of the Year, Greg Tonigal. Thanks, Coach, and for coming on in. And I guess this is it. We're going to wrap it up for the season. I know it's hard to end a season sometimes because unless last year you win everything and you're national champions, there's only one team that's going to end on a win. But when you put the entire season in perspective, it was an outstanding year. I mean, an historic year here. More wins than ever in the history of the program. Regular season championship, a postseason championship. And I think most of all, we got to watch a group of guys just play great basketball. And kind of guys you can really root for and cheer for and you're proud of.
Listen, when you step back and you look at this thing from a bigger perspective, a broader perspective, what an incredible year. Obviously, so proud of these guys for what they did. And like you said, it was fun basketball to watch. We set different records throughout the year. One of them was the most assists we've ever had in a year. So when the ball's moving and popping like that and guys are playing for each other, that's pretty special.
You know, another thing, a couple things I think we saw this year was a team that was different in many respects in that you couldn't point to one guy and said, that was guy. You know, last year, Jordan Widener, maybe RJ. This year is like different guys stepping up at different times and just a great team effort. And I think it took that kind of effort to carry the weight they carried with that #1 ranking all year.
Really, I mean, we kept talking about the depth and versatility of this team, and that's where it showed up. You know, you don't win 33 games and put together that regular season that we did without having just numerous guys step up on different nights, because we weren't relying upon 1 or 2 or even 3 guys. I mean, we had a couple guys recognized as All-Americans, but the gap between them and the guys right below them was extremely small. I mean, really, you could take those guys out and replace them with somebody else. A guy like Bob Peters doesn't even make All-Conference. But yet, I think he's a first-team player, and I think he did that all year long. But there were other guys that did similar things. You know, Zach Vandewater, what an incredible year. DJ Bettinger had his best year. He was so efficient on the offensive end, and then on the defensive end stepped up and had some huge games for us. So, great season for these guys.
Looking ahead a little bit, your guys, your seniors especially, unbelievable career. When you look at all their accomplishments, they really have set a new standard, I would think, for the guys to follow, not only in terms of wins and losses, but just in terms of leadership.
Yeah, if you'd been in our locker room every single day, been out in the community, been on our mission trips, you'd just be blown away by these guys. They're incredible men. They're well beyond their years. I have no doubts they're going to be successful in whatever they choose to do in any field, including being a husband and a father someday. We're going to be very proud of these guys.
And, you know, the good thing is, though, you mentioned some of the guys that are coming back next year. Bob, who came off the bench and led you guys in scoring, but stepped into a starting lineup role when he had to. Lane's coming back. You've got just a lot of young guys that are primed and ready. You had some great production from a freshman, Jacob Johnson. So you lose some great guys, but there's a lot of fun stuff coming back too.
There is, and you know, it's when the time's appropriate, we'll turn to that. You know, it's like right now we're kind of caught in between of mourning, you know, the loss, but celebrating the season. But yeah, there's some excitement about next year. It's their turn and their opportunity to make their own team and their own run. There's going to be a lot of work involved because we're still fairly young. I mean, you talk about. We're asking Jacob Johnson to step up and play a huge role as a sophomore. We need Bob Peters and Lane and Nate as juniors to play big roles. And obviously we got some seniors in and Johnny and Josh that we're expecting big things from. So it's a long process. We're a long ways away from that, but it really does start today.
So off season, you'll have the guys maybe refining skills, working out, improving little parts of their game, and then probably a little recruiting left to do. But is that wrapping up pretty quick?
Yeah. Well, you're always recruiting because you're always working on other classes. So, you know, we signed our kids in the 15 class, but we're working on 16s and 17s. And, you know, the off-season development's huge for us. The weight room's probably one of the biggest pieces for us. And as a player, you got to love the weight room and you got to want it. And I think as they see their body transform, they buy in and they like it. And so I'll be anxious to see these guys after a good summer of weights.
Well, again, Coach, thanks so much for being here this year. It was a lot of fun this year from a fan's perspective and to cover you guys. And congratulations again on just an outstanding season.
Thanks, Raj. We appreciate all you guys do.
Well, of course, we want to take a look back at the NAIA National Tournament and recap just an awesome trip.
Good morning, everybody. We're here in beautiful Marion, Indiana, where it is beautiful cold degrees outside.
Bob Peters went in a heavy crowd. They got it out to Josh Mayward will put it up in the There is Lane McEwen on the end of Sweet 16 on Friday. Josh Mayward, three-point nothing but net. Peters trying to drive, went inside, missed another one. Kept it up and in though. Honest, double figures. Here's a steal by Johnny Mullen. They've got a 4-on-2. Bettinger, three in the air. Hello! Goodbye! This baby is over. Here and went inside and put it in.
Here are our fans. They may look little, but they're huge fans.
Well, again, another great trip to Branson, and looking forward to heading back there next year. Well, when we come back, the head women's basketball coach, Steve Brooks, will join us to look back on their season. And later, baseball coach Chad Newhard will join us as well. That's all ahead on Wildcat Week. Well, welcome back to Wildcat Week. The women's basketball team, they finished their year with a loss in the NAIA tournament to Ashford College. Well, the Lady Wildcats still had an outstanding season, though, and many of the players received postseason accolades. Katrina Blackman, in particular, was voted the Crossroads League Player of the Year, and she was also named to the NAIA All-American team. Chelsea Winter, Carly Cottrell, and Emma Stahl, they each made the second team or honorable mentions in terms of Crossroads League play. Well, Steve Brooks was named the Coach of the Year in the Crossroads League, and again, another great honor for him. So we welcome in the coach of the Lady Wildcats, Coach Brooks, and just kind of like what we talked with Coach Tonigal, seasons can only end, one of two ways. Either you win everything or you go out in a loss. But when you try to take a step back and look back, another very successful season, a Crossroads League regular season championship, had some really great win streaks and things like that. So a good year, a great year for the Lady Wildcats.
I don't know if you would call it a great year, especially with the way that it finished, but I do think the kids really, our definition of success really is more of one that Coach Wooden would say, did we give our best effort? Mm-hmm. Were we there mentally? Were we there physically? And I think to a person, to everyone that's involved in the women's basketball program, I think we all are really disappointed with our last two games. Mm-hmm. We did not compete at the level that we were capable of, and so I think that's kind of skewed it for us as far as the kind of year we had. But I am really proud of our four seniors. I really felt like our four seniors out at the national tournament responded the way you would want seniors to respond. They didn't quit. They didn't feel sorry for themselves. They kept battling. Mm-hmm. They kept trying. And we were down big. We were down 24-2 to start the game. We were down 19 at half. Came back, I think, with 4 minutes. Within the first 6 minutes of the second half, we had cut the lead to 7, and then we kind of fell apart again. But our seniors did a really good job of keeping us focused and battling to the very end.
Well, again, as you said, you battled to the very end, and the season is over now, and you get to look forward to next year, and you've got a lot of talent coming back. It's a very deep team, maybe as deep as we've ever seen. So that's always exciting.
Right.
But then there's just a lot of work to do in the offseason to get ready for that, then, isn't there?
Yeah, trying to adjust. We graduated 4 really unique and special kids, with Katrina being a primary player in that, and Emma And so our offense next year will probably look different because not having their particular skill sets out there on the floor. But yeah, I mean, right now it's get away from basketball. I wanted the kids to get away from it. Don't go to the gym. Don't do anything. Get caught back up with your classes. Go be a college student. Forget about basketball for a while. And, you know, towards the end of the school year, we'll get them back in and get them started lifting on the weights and set some goals for each player as they head home for the summer. And hopefully, you know, they can change levels this summer individually, and then hopefully that'll take our team to a different level as we begin play next year.
Well, Coach, it doesn't seem possible, but another year is gone. We've had a great time following you guys, and not only broadcasting games, but having you here on Wildcat Week, so we appreciate it. We look forward to doing it again next year.
Well, thank you. I can't say enough about how much we appreciate the support. I know it's important to our kids and to our parents and families, especially those kids, and we have quite a few of them that watch the games, you know, that are telecast on TV versus being able to be there in person. So that makes for a special kind of situation for us in comparison to some of the other programs. And so we thank you for all your involvement as well.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks again, and we'll look forward to another year next year. Well, when we come back, we'll catch up with some more Wildcat athletics and talk with the head baseball coach, Chad Newhard. That's coming up next on Wildcat Week. Welcome back to Wildcat Week. Now, many spring sports are already off to a fast start. Softball, men's golf, men and women's tennis, they're all ranked in the latest NAIA national polls in their respective sports. Softball and men's tennis are ranked 23rd, while men's golf is ranked 25th. Women's tennis starts the season ranked number 14. The men's tennis team, they opened up the season with a victory over Brescia. The Wildcats defeated Brescia by a score of 7-2, and they play again this weekend facing Cardinal Stritch and Olivet Nazarene University. The softball team is off to a hot start, 17-2. As we said, ranked 23rd in the country. That ranking is the highest in program history. They faced Bethel Wednesday night in a doubleheader. While the baseball team traveled to Cornerstone on Tuesday night, the men fell in that doubleheader. The first game by a score of 10-3. The second game, much tighter, but the Wildcats dropped that one 4-3. Well, now we welcome in the head coach of the baseball team, Coach Chad Newhard. And Coach, thanks for coming in. And
always a pleasure, Roger.
Last week wasn't the funnest week, but you guys got off to a great start down in Tucson, Arizona on your spring break trip.
Yeah, we're not playing our greatest baseball right now, but we played 10 games in Arizona and you know, played some really good baseball, played against some good competition. We defeated Northwestern, who was receiving votes. You know, we ended up finishing the weekend sweeping Briarcliff out of the GPAC. We won on a walk-off home run, and or not a walk-off home run, a walk-off hit by Jack Collingsworth. The first game, we won the second game 5-4, and our center fielder, Caleb Berkey, made an unbelievable catch to finish the game. So we were either going to win or lose that game on that play, and he came through. So it was a great start. We ended up then coming back and sweeping IU out southeast. But you know, we're getting ready to start our conference season. We're excited about that.
Well, that's the next thing I was going to ask you about, because if you look at the season in a couple segments, you have spring break and you go on the trip to Arizona, but then you know you're playing some non-conference opponents and that kind of stuff, and that can always get crazy because you don't know where you're going to be traveling to or weather and whatnot. But yeah, tomorrow starts conference play, and that's probably the most important part of your schedule, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, these are the games that really count. Our spring break and our non-conference is a great time for us to evaluate our team and get our team ready to prepare them to play in conference games. Yeah, these games are big and important right now, and we're excited and geared up, ready to go.
As you take a look at the conference and maybe tracking, you know, how other teams are doing, is there a sense yet early on, like who are kind of maybe the teams to beat in the conference this year? You
know, Mount Vernon has got off to a good start, so has Spring Arbor. Taylor's been playing well as of late. I think there's going to be a lot of balance in our league this year. I think there are a handful of teams that can win it, us included. We've played some good baseball this year. We have some confidence, so we need to get back to playing the style that we had been early in the year. You know, I would say those are typically the favorites. no one's really – Mount Vernon's probably the team right now that stands out the most, but you know, there's several teams, Huntington included in that mix as well, that could be vying for a conference championship.
So for you guys, for the Wildcats, who can you point to at this point that is like, these guys are really playing well for us? They're leading us in this particular area.
Yeah, I'll start with our pitching. Justin Sovine is 3-0 with I think it's close to a 1.5 ERA. I know that's not exact, but he's had 3 great starts for us. Matt Blankenship's had a couple of solid starts for us. Jacob Jividin, who is a freshman, was the Crossroads League co-pitcher of the week last week. He threw a complete game against IU Southeast with 9 strikeouts. And Kenan Barnett's throwing really well. He beat IU Southeast as well and won a game for us on spring break. Offensively, you know, we've had a lot of different contributions. That's what's been great about our team is we've had guys that have really stepped up, and we've got contributions, whether it's our reserve guys, whether it's our starters in different games. It's really helped us. So Caleb Berkey had an outstanding spring break, both offensively and defensively. He's pacing us offensively right now. But you know, we've got guys up and down our lineup. Thomas Barnes has been done well. You know, Cody Calvert's done well from time to time. So we've had a lot of different contributions, both pitching and offense, and it's been fun to see because some of those contributions have won games for us. That's
awesome. Well, we're looking forward to some warmer weather, getting out there to watch a little baseball, and watching the Wildcats maybe make a run at the Crossroads Leagues this year.
That'd be great. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks, Coach, for coming on in and talking a little baseball.
My pleasure. Anytime.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you this week. If you have any comments or suggestions about the show, we'd like to hear from you. You can write us here at the station, WIWTV 4201, South Washington Street, Marion, Indiana, 46953. Or you can visit our website, WIWTV.com. There you can watch past episodes and connect with us online. Again, that's WIWTV.com. Well, we look forward to being back with you next time. So for all of us here, thanks for watching Wildcat Week.